everyone. Happy 4th of July. Today, I have my very special friend with me, Debbie. Debbie is in Tennessee and I'm in California. Isn't this Zoom technology great? And Debbie is like me, who's also a health and wellness entrepreneur. And yeah, thank you, Debbie, for your time.
Oh my goodness, Chu, it is such an honor to be here with you today. I just cannot tell you how thrilled I am to be here on launch day of
Launch
your
day.
long-awaited book. I mean, it's so amazing and inspiring. And of course, it was written by you, Chu Tang, and your husband,
Mhm.
Wayne Yee. And
Yes, yes.
so I think that you've got such an incredible story to tell. And I'm really thrilled for everybody to hear about it. Tell me, um, first of all, the book title. Tell me your book title, and then I want you to tell us the significance of why it's so important and so special that you were able to launch the book officially today.
Yes, yes. So the title is called I Am the American Dream, and the subtitle is Be Brave to Be Different. So why we call I'm American Dream, this title came from my husband. We both of us came to this country over several decades ago. And we built the American Dream. And this book is for people outside US also. Yeah, because building a dream is similar. We go through, resilient, persistent, and all that. So why is it so special that we chose to launch it today? Because it's Independence Day. It's about freedom. It's about freedom and about my husband served in the military for 20 years. Yeah, and he's a retired veteran. So we love our country so much. And today is so important because I never had freedom until I moved to US. Yeah. And my book, I talk about freedom also, how I had freedom, but not 100% because I was born in Cambodia.
Mhm.
And then I lost it completely when the communists took over. Then I moved to Vietnam, and communists took over. I lost freedom completely. And then I risked my life and found freedom again. So freedom, we don't take it lightly. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. And you know what? I think that your book will really inspire a lot of people because so many people do take that for granted now and they don't understand that there's a price to be paid for that freedom.
Yes.
And oh my goodness, I'm so excited for people to hear the story of the price that you two personally paid to
Mm-hmm.
have your freedom here. Uh, Tell us a little bit what the book is about. I was fortunate enough to hear you read from the book in another podcast that you did, and it's just is so real and so raw and authentic. I felt like I was in that book with you. I mean, I could
Oh,
literally see what you were reading in my mind. I just felt like I was there, and it's so special. So tell us a little bit. What
yeah.
is a little bit what the book is about?
So the book is a memoir. It's a story of my husband's journey and mine, and then it's divided into two acts. So one act is before we met. So because he's he's older. So the book will start with him explaining what is a true American dream, right? And then he talked about his childhood in Hong Kong, and then the second act is when we met.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, and I am very inspired by Pixar shorts. And also, the way I write, the way I think is very visual. So so I create each chapter. I call it scene because it's not really a chapter because it's not a sequential chapter. It's a scene, and so it is very it's like a short story. So yeah, like a short story. Yeah. So anyone who's busy, just open up one scene, they could read it. It's a short story by itself. Yeah. Yeah. And it has poetry too.
That's very neat. So, is there, I know that since today represents freedom, then
Mhm.
is there a portion of the book on freedom, just maybe a couple of pages that you could pull out and read for us?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'll be happy to put on my glasses.
Okay, awesome. I'd love to hear, and I'd love for everyone listening just to hear how beautifully you write.
Thank you. So in the book, there was quite a few epilogue because it's like a piece of story that doesn't quite fit into the main story, but I put it as an epilogue. So I'm reading the one that say, "What is freedom?" And it's actually on page 293 because there are 331 pages. But since it's an epilogue, it's not a spoiler of the whole story. Okay. Okay. So what is freedom? The most dramatic scene in the movie Shawshank Redemption is when the characters successfully escape from prison and with an expression of indescribable joy, embrace the falling rain with open arms for freedom. This captivating cinematic imagery hit home for me. Only those who ever truly experience such a burst of freedom could resonate with this intense moment, especially those who have been wrongly accused. There are many innocent men and women, like our loved ones who die in the killing fields, who were never even granted the opportunity to be on trial. Their dreams forever fade away. Life is like a movie. When the show is over, there are no more chances. That's it. 9 months after we arrived in the refugee camp in Malaysia, we made the long-awaited crossing to Muxing. Then they transport us to Kuala Lumpur. After a week, I finally stepped onto the Pan Am 747 to fly to America. That was my first chance in my life to breathe true freedom. I waited a long time to get to that day. What is freedom? When we live in a world of freedom, we take it for granted. It is easy to explain what is not freedom. When the communists took over Vietnam, there was absolutely no freedom of speech, no freedom to choose what you want to read or watch on TV. Without warning, it happened in a split of a second, in the blink of an eye. When you lose your freedom, your whole well-being feels as if it has been shredded like in a meat grinder. You are not free to be yourself. You have no right to express the pain and frustration inside you. There's no peace within you because your thoughts are being oppressed. You cannot even think freely. You have to hold your breath and curl up in your bed on those long, silent nights, waiting for it to become morning, wishing for a small grain of hope. You can't share your secret wish for freedom with anyone because you don't know who you can trust. You cannot distinguish between friends and enemies, even within your own family. If you don't think alike, act alike, or dress alike, it's a crime. Some chose to get out of this predicament by ending their own lives. Some risked their lives by escaping. Many died. A few survived. In communism, being rich is considered evil, even if you earn every single penny through years of hard work. Being intellectual or creative is also seen as a sin. They don't respect religion either. Keeping families, friends, and communities divided is the hidden agenda, ensuring we remain too weak to reform. The true foundation of communism has never been freedom. Communists may deceive us by wearing different masks, but I have always been able to recognize them. My 3 years of direct experiences living in a communist world in Vietnam were enough for me to understand exactly who they are. I see the familiarity of what's happening in America today. What would you do if your freedom were taken away?
Oh, that is so beautifully written. And I will tell you, your perspective is so powerful. I wish everyone in America could read what you just read. It just almost brought me to tears,
Oh,
literally. So let me ask you, who's this book meant for? I mean, who would find it useful?
this book is meant for because if this were a movie, it's actually rated R. And the reason it's rated R is because there's stories that my grandma told me about deaths that are included in there. But she told it to me when I was a kid. But kids nowadays may be not ready to accept it. So so I would say at least 18. And it's meant for people who value freedom and people who are independent thinker, yeah. And then I also designed it so that it's meant for professional, busy professional, because my health space that's my target audience. So yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Well, let me ask you another question, and that sort of goes right along with that. Um, what inspired you to write the book in the first place? I know that you have a heart. I mean, your very core is for helping other people.
Yeah.
So what was the primary drive for you to write this book?
I So I love our country, and because of so many negativity, how the media deceive us, so many negative things going on, and the reason I decided to write this book and get it published like today is because I want to inspire people. There's a lot of positive things in life. Yeah. And yeah, so it's just my story, even though some of part of it was a tragedy, but I always see the positive side of it. Yeah. And I think we only have one life to live. We need to make it extraordinary. It doesn't matter where we are, we can make it extraordinary and we could live our dream. We all, no matter where we are, what situation we're in, as long as we are still alive and breathing, we could live our dream. And I strongly believe that. Yeah.
Well, I think you all are certainly examples of that. Definitely. Living, breathing, and very successful examples of what can happen when you work to achieve that American dream. And
Yeah.
it was not easy, was it? You had a lot of work to do, right?
Yeah, yeah, a lot of work to do. Yeah, because we went to like racism, discrimination, and all that. But then I see them as a driving force to move us forward. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't come here expecting it to come easy for you. You expect
No.
to
Mm-mm.
work for it and I
Yeah.
mean, you've had a tremendous career both in the movie industry. I mean, you're such a multifaceted lady. And so you've been in the film industry, your health and wellness now. You've had just various things that you've done in your background. And I would imagine that you didn't come here to America with any of those things listed that you wanted to do. You found
No,
those
no.
things and pursued, right?
Yeah, I came to America with a curious mind. I was very curious. The first time I heard of America, I talk about in my book was like, oh my God, I'm so curious. Where's this country? Yeah. And then I was completely like happy with like the culture here, like freedom and individuality, which is completely opposite than the Asian culture.
Yeah. Well, was that even a little bit I hate to say it's difficult to adapt to something that's such a positive thing, but was that almost like hard for you to grasp when you first came here?
No, not for me, but the conflict was my family trying to hold me back. Not for me. I was like, wow, because when I wrote this book, I didn't realize that as a young age, I was already an independent thinker. I always think, oh, curious about things. And it's just coming to America give me that platform.
That's great. Hey, good for you that you
Yeah.
independent, that you were the independent thinker because look at your life now. It would have been so totally different had you not come here.
Yeah. Mhm.
People are always kind of wondering, okay, well, what I think you said the book is what, 300 something
That's
pages?
31 pages, yeah, but it include illustration, so it's not all text. And
Mm-hmm.
some of the illustration take up the whole page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'd love for you to tell people how the book is formatted, because it sounds to me as though it's a book that I could pick up and read several pages or one story and then put it down and come back another time. It's not that I have to sit there and go through 300 pages within
No.
3 or 4 days to get the essence of it. So would you
No.
explain how you came up
Yeah.
with the formatting for the book?
So how I can reformat the book, because I see life, we all have a set of very common emotion that we all go through, right? I mean, maybe not all of them, but so for instance, like love and gratitude, right? And then
Mhm.
grief, friendship. I talk about friendship, and also kind of family dynamics. I know our parents love us, but it's always
That can get interesting,
yeah,
right?
the interesting thing. And then also job, right? Challenge at job, like you're going to lay off or all that. And then yeah, so it's a set of emotions. So each chapter I center around a very small set of emotion. Yeah. And then also like going to college and all that. So anyone could just, depend where they are at the stage of their life, they could just pick it up. Let's say they just got accepted to go to college. They could skip the chapter, just go to that chapter where I talk about, when I got accepted to UC Berkeley and how it feel and what kind of challenges I went through as a first year going through college. Yeah.
Mhm. So you basically have act one and act two, and then it's almost like little scenes,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
You'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fascinating, and it sounds so convenient, I guess, just to pick up and read something that would be inspirational, and only spend a few minutes doing it, but
Yeah.
yet powerful impact during that few minutes of reading. So I'm sure you would love to tell the listeners where they can purchase this book and how
Mhm.
much it costs.
Mhm.
And so I think people are definitely going to want to read this.
Okay. So unfortunately, it's not available on Kindle yet because I uploaded on June 29, and I think because of the images, it's not something an AI could review. So I guess a human needs to review it. So it takes a while. So
Mhm.
so because I'm determined, because that subtitle really is my driving force to make the book successful. Be brave to be different, right? So because I'm so determined that I want to get it launched by July 4, it's
Mhm.
available on my website. So yeah, I will share a link on this podcast, and you could purchase it. Right now it's the ebook version only, and it's $5.79. And this format is going to be different than the one that when it's available on Kindle, because the Kindle one is a EPUB format, so it's not laid out nicely. Yeah, yeah. But this one that you're going to get for $5.79 is actually my printed format. So you get high resolution of the illustration. Is everything that I'm going to submit to print the book. Yeah, and and as a bonus, I will do a digital autograph too.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that's exciting. Well, what a treat is that? I mean, seriously.
Mhm.
Um, and for $5.79, I cannot
Mhm.
believe what a bargain that is. Who would not want this at their fingertips for five? You can't even go through a drive-through and get a Starbucks coffee for that. My goodness.
Yeah. I want to make it affordable for everyone because now we're in inflation and yeah, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Um, so let me ask you this. Do you have any parting words or comments or anything that you'd like to share with others who are seeking the American dream, whether they're natural born Americans or whether they're people who've immigrated to this country?
Mhm.
What what advice or what words of wisdom would
Mhm.
you like to share with them on this
Well,
special Independence Day?
well, don't let other people's opinion destroy your dream.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Well, again, I want to congratulate you. I'm so excited about what you've got out there. It's a tremendous accomplishment for both you and your husband. And I just wish you and Wayne tremendous success on your book. and on your Kindle version and for everything else that is to come, because I know that there are more great things that are going to be happening in your futures. And, you know, one thing that just draws me to you is that you are such a real and authentic person.
Oh, you too.
And it comes through, your heart shows, and it's such a beautiful thing. And I really hope that the readers will take the time, or the listeners will take the time to read this very authentic and inspirational book, because you truly are the American dream.
Oh, thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you so much for having me here. It was truly, truly a great honor for me.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Bye-bye.